Underground Railroad Network to Freedom.
A few years ago, I got a records notification from my Ancestry.com account. It was for Benjamin Oglesby, a man I will come to learn as my great-great-great-grandfather. What I discovered through that record completely blew my mind and filled me with pride. But when it comes to Benjamin's contributions to Black ownership, that was just half of the story.
While Benjamin's ownership story began in St. Charles County, Missouri, his journey actually started in an entirely different state.
Benjamin Oglesby was born in Virginia, and like so many others, he was brought to Missouri in the 1830s because Missouri, and especially St. Charles County, was a really good place, a new young state where the land was cheap, and all those tobacco and hemp farmers loved to bring their huge property of enslaved people here to Missouri, and that's what established Missouri.
Grandpa Benjamin eventually found himself living on the western side of St. Charles County, where he was enslaved alongside several others on a 267-acre farm. By 1863, with the Civil War raging on for nearly 2 years, Benjamin was determined to gain his freedom. That same year, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, and Benjamin saw it as the perfect opportunity to take action and change his life forever.
Now, with the Emancipation Proclamation, on January 1st, 1863, when Lincoln issued that, it did not free the enslaved people here in Missouri or in St. Charles County. In September of 1863, Benjamin Oglesby decided that he wanted to join Lincoln's Union troops. He, in order to join the Union Army, could ask his enslaver, and there were people that were pro-Union that owned slaves and said yes. But his was not one of them.
But just like the generations of kinfolk who came after him, he refused to let anyone or anything stop him from pursuing his dreams.
He had to flee via what we call the Underground Railroad. And he escaped his enslaver, leaving behind his wife and their children, and he made his way to the city of St. Charles on the Missouri River and made his way there to join the Union troops.
Benjamin joined the infantry of the Union's U.S. colored troops, where he served bravely and saw action on the battlefield. After the war ended, he was honorably discharged and received his bounty. Well, most of it.
Eventually, Benjamin purchased property where he and his family could live and farm. But what truly cemented his legacy were the actions he took alongside some other former slaves.
These men, these families, there were 9 of them, pooled their money to fund 1 acre of land about 1 mile away from his farm. They pooled their land to buy 1 acre for a church named Smith Chapel and to create a schoolhouse. So their children were getting an education in that one-room classroom called Douglas School, named for Frederick Douglass.
Thanks to the action of Benjamin and those other families, Black children in St. Charles County were able to receive an education. Black families had a place to worship, and through the creation of Smith Chapel Cemetery, Black residents had a dignified place to be laid to rest, including Benjamin's family and Benjamin himself.
Today, on the land that was once Benjamin Oglesby's farm, the same land generations of his family would enjoy long after him, including my mother and her Uncle Stan, who you'll hear more about later in the episode, stands a park that the city thoughtfully named in Benjamin's honor, Oglesby Park.
And thanks to a grant from the National Underground Railroad's Network to Freedom program, Smith Chapel Cemetery is set to receive a much-needed renovation as well.
These people created Smith Chapel Cemetery. This is where they would bury all of their loved ones and their families. There are many people buried there today that we only know the name of, that don't have a headstone. And the cemetery is maintained still by your family members and others of the Wesley Smith Church. The National Underground Railroad does care about sites like this. Now, the National Underground Railroad, the Network to Freedom, which is part of the national parks, recognized this program last year as part of the Network to Freedom for these freedom seekers, these people who were so determined. The National Underground Railroad's grant program is currently funding a grant that will allow the church to restore the headstones there, to research out the names of all of those who are buried there, and to properly be able to educate everyone about the meaning of the people like Benjamin Oglesby that came together for buying 1 acre of land to be used for a church.
The funding is enough to even bring in help from one of the local community colleges.
With the help of the St. Charles County Community College, we and their students will be researching the names, and we will be creating signage that will share with the world and for those who come to visit us in St. Charles, and even our own people can learn more about these people and their lives and their stories and what they went through and who they are and how something like Smith Chapel came to be. These stories need to be told. They are part of our American history, and they're important to all of us. And that's one of the things that I like about the Network to Freedom. And I invite anybody that would like to visit it to let us know.
We're really excited to see the restoration work completed, and we can't wait to check it out firsthand. Of course, we'll be sharing that story with you, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss it when the episode drops.
As for Benjamin specifically, his legacy is absolutely one to be proud of, and as you will see later in the episode, it is a legacy that continues to inspire his descendants to this day. So to my great-great-great-grandfather, Benjamin Oglesby, thank you. What's wild to think about is that there isn't a single picture or portrait of Benjamin Oglesby. But according to his Army enrollment card, he was described as, quote, copper-skinned with gray eyes, black hair, and standing 5 feet 8 inches tall.
And a special thanks to Doris for her incredible contributions and expertise in this episode. And don't forget to check out our website, travelingwhileblackseattle.com, for updates on how you can help preserve sites like Smith Chapel Cemetery and many others.
After the break, we'll be sharing stories of some present-day family members who have served as inspiring examples of Black entrepreneurship and continue to push forward